Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King. And today I'm gonna be giving you part 2 of what if Naruto opened the gate of alchemy and awakened all the abilities. Remember, for anyone this is the first time hearing my voice, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And yes, I indeed have 3 channels: Anime King, Anime King 2, and Anime King 3, which I post what if on every single day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Making family. And thank you for all of your help and your support. And yeah, without further ado, remember to stay tuned for the rest of the what ifs coming your way over Making 2 and Making 3. So yeah, without further ado, what is to begin this new episode? Start the intro. So the last spot we left off, Naruto was running as he found himself in a manhole, a sewer to be exact. After getting down there, he started to walk as he couldn't feel his arm. One of his arms were badly hurt, given the kunai sticking out of his shoulder. As he calmly made his way down there and he was walking, unknown to him he passed through something, as he found himself in a labyrinth of sorts, where he saw a kitchen, a bed, and several other things. The place was really dirty, but at least it seems livable, and not to mention he would have complete privacy down here, as he was able to sneak out of an alleyway after finding the entrance, and it was a good hiding spot. So with that he made his way towards the tower. After arriving there, Harrison saw the boy, as Naruto ended up finally passing out, given his exhaustion. So with him going unconscious, he woke up in his mindscape. That is where he met the giant fox, who told him that his name was Ed. As Naruto was confused, Ed? As the fox then went on to explain who he really was, that he was not from this world but he was sent here, along with his brother. But after they managed to stop the invasion from occurring on this world, the wormhole behind him sealed up, and since then he had to watch his brother age and die. This was a long time ago, and he wasn't able to find himself back. He adapted to the world and did many things, one of which that transformed into a massive nine-tailed fox, as he told Naruto about alchemy, a different power entirely, as he explained himself and his situations leading up to his ceiling inside of Naruto. Not to mention he seemed to know the fourth Hokage, which was stated to be Naruto's father. Shocked by this, as he couldn't believe it. But he was waking up. After waking up, he explained to Harrison what was going on, as the doctor was there, one of the few people in the village that did not see him as a monster. Her name was Ebashi, as she checked him out to make sure that he was okay, but his arm, it was basically useless now, as Harrison was rather pissed off. Kakashi, on the other hand, was the one that was supposed to be guarding Naruto. As Harrison saw the man, he viciously slammed him into the wall, as he gave him a death grip by gripping his throat, to the point where Kakashi couldn't even breathe. As Harrison told him how disappointed he was, as he also told him something else, that that boy is a son of his former sensei, something which surprised Kakashi, but Harrison dismissed him. So with that out of the way, Naruto told the old man and the doctor that he'll be able to gain a new arm, as Ed had told him about that, and he also told him about his new living situation. They agreed, as Harrison realized that his people would never stop despite him being Hokage. He cannot be everywhere at once, so he allowed Naruto to do what he did. Some time passed as Naruto was able to clean up the labyrinth, as he was going to create the new arm with alchemy, as he drew the circle and everything. After drawing the circle, Ed told him what to do, as Ed had rewired Naruto a bit to give him knowledge on the art of alchemy, as it also messed with his personality slightly, giving him a louder, brash talking. So with that, Naruto activated the circle, but something went wrong horribly wrong as two of them were pulled away. It was where Naruto found the gate, as it was open, as he saw and heard several things behind it, as someone told him to tell Ed what's up. As Naruto, before he could do or think about anything else, he was hit with these tentacles that stabbed through him and wrapped around him, as he felt something course inside his veins. The village had shook that day violently, as no one knew what was going on. When Naruto finally returned, Hiruzen was happy to see him, seeing that he had no idea where Naruto knew living space was. But he was happy that he was okay, as Naruto had a new arm as it attached right to his shoulder blade. As the doctor was surprised at that. But it was time for his injections, as she stuck him right in the butt with all of them, because of his little brash attitude towards her. But after that was over, Hiruzen wanted an explanation, as Naruto figured he should explain what happened to him, and what he knew now. So yeah guys, so basically as we left off. You guys can switch across the place and check it out for yourself, and also remember to stay tuned for the rest of what is coming away over an Anime King 2 and Anime King 3. So yeah, without further ado, what is to begin this new episode? Let's get straight into it guys. Hibachi poured Naruto a cup of tea. As he took a sip, "I might have been given gifts from the 7, he said. "The what?" Hibachi asked. "The 7 homunculi. Artificial created beings. They had human forms and mental capacities, but they lack a soul. They are the product of an attempted human transmutation. On first creation, they do not possess human features, but rather, they look like decayed beings, organ piles, bones at odd angles. That is an example of what they look like." As Naruto was tapping into Ed's knowledge, and he was surprised by how easy it flowed. They fed on incomplete philosopher's stone to gain shape, as in the form of the person they were resurrected as. They have numerous abilities with regeneration and they are nearly immortal, but they are tied to the stones that they need to sustain their life. As Naruto sipped his tea, as his eyes were focused on Dex, as Hiruzen and Hibachi looked at him, due to their diets of the right stone as they were dubbed, all of them possess a regeneration ability that allowed them to return from utter annihilation. They have monstrous strength and agilities, and each of them are gifted with a unique power that was dubbed only for them. Due to the imitation of life, they were weakened by the presence of the real thing, meaning if they were brought in close proximity to the one that they were supposed to look like, they will be weakened to the point of paralyzed. If they're close enough, according to Ed's memories, the only way to kill them is to make sure they have no red stones in them. And the only way to do that is to trap them in the flame array. Keep killing it until it exhausts its red stones reserves, and it can no longer regenerate the damage. Sarutobi cleared his throat and Naruto stopped speaking. "And you believe that you gain abilities from them?" "Ed think I gain their powers, not their curse, seeing that I have my soul. And as Hibachi would inform you, I heal at my normal rate. Well, normal healing factor I possess." "What abilities from these homunculi do you think you have gained?" "Well, from Lust, I gained the ability to turn my fingertips into sharp razor blades." As he pulled off his gloves to show them his metal hand that now had blades from the fingertip. "I will find out if I can use them like the memory that I've seen of our ultimate lance technique. I already can form Ed's sword," said Naruto, as he clapped his hands together before running his hand over the metal of his forearm as the blade extended past his hand. But back to the homunculi's powers. "Gluttony. I think I can eat and consume anything without ill effects. But I don't think I want to test that ability. He was also known to be quite quick and powerful. I think the alchemists are quite similar to him in some ways." As Naruto sipped the tea once again. Envy. Envy was able to shape shift into anyone that he saw, mimicking them in every way, from voice to actions. He was also known to shift his limbs into blades, and known as the cruelest of the homunculi. "I don't believe I have his or Gluttony's abilities. I don't feel like it, but I could be wrong. Without study," said Naruto. Sloth. She was a hydrophonetic, meaning she can control water. As Naruto looked towards the pitcher of water, they watched as it rose up and formed several shapes, twisting and turning before it went back. And it seems I have her gift. I think mainly because she was a resurrection of Ed and Al's mother. As Naruto closed his eyes, she was their sin, he said softly. He focused back on the Hokage. I also think I have Greed's ability. He was dubbed to be the ultimate shield by Dante. He could rearrange the bonds between the carbon atom in his body to make his skin into an unnamed carbon substance. As Naruto pulled a kunai, as he aimed it toward his heart, both Hibachi and Sarutobi shouted at him, but it snapped as it hit his chest. Yep, said Naruto, I have his ability. At least I won't turn into a black-skinned demon like he did with it. Wrath is next, and since he got his abilities from Ed's limbs, I don't think I have his skills. I don't think I have Pride's ultimate eye, which is similar to Hyuga's Byakugan. As Naruto was thankful that he didn't have any of those gifts from those two, because from the memories that he got from Ed, it brought a ton of psychiatrical and mental conflict with Ed memories. And as you saw, old man, I have Roy's fire ability, said Naruto, as the old man looked towards his broken pipe. Hiruzen nodded to himself. I don't want to use any of those abilities until you are properly trained in them, he said. As Naruto nodded, Ed's worked on a schedule. I'll be using the gate pass you gave me, because some of the things I have to try will be dangerous in a large populated area. Hell, some of Ed's attacks were just as destructive. While he did prefer creating edge weapons when provoked, he would create a cannon or bangers. Bangers, said Hibachi. Grenades, more destructive than 100 explosive tags, while it wavered between his mood if he was pissed off or not. As Naruto took a breath, so what now? As Hiruzen went quiet for a few seconds. As he was already thinking this over, from Naruto told him about his alchemy, but this was not what he expected with these new abilities. So his mind was clear. Naruto, I want to make you a special operative of Konoha. As Naruto nodded, Ed and I figured that you were. Since I'm not going to the academy, you're using my skills where I can make Konoha better. As Hiruzen almost forgot that Naruto was different now, and a lot smarter, as he had to come out to the plain truth whenever he was speaking to the boy. But he was spot on. I will make you Konoha alchemist, only answerable to the Hokage, Hiruzen said. However, I will need to team you up with someone. Before you go all about that, JJ, said Naruto, what will my duties entail? I'm glad you asked. You and your partner will get Sanin travel rights. Your duties will entail from Special Forces intelligence, information gathering, research, and police force action. As Naruto groaned, great. It is the duties of a state alchemist all over again. The memories in his head, making it unable for him to distinguish between the two. You might as well mark me down as Konoha, Full Metal Fox Alchemist. As Naruto realized that Ed was probably gonna be pissed to be put back in the service again. Yes, Hiruzen said, well then, as he thought to himself, who do I pair you with? So, a partner, said Naruto. As Hibachi had an idea. How about, as Hiruzen turned towards her, you hold a tournament between Jonin and Chonins, even Genins, to let Naruto see who has skills, and make him make his own choice. After all, he will have to work with this person after all. As both Hokage and Alchemist shared a look, as they thought the same thing. Why didn't I think of that? As Hibachi poured herself a cup of tea. Now, Hibachi said, you can show us where you live, Naruto, as Naruto groaned. As she told him that it will need a woman's touch, as Hiruzen simply smiled at the boy. Go along with it, emote the words. It will save a lot of time. Time skip. Hibachi looked around the remodel sewer den. Not my first choice, she muttered. Well, I seal off the sewer, said Naruto. Only I can open it. Same with the door, said Naruto. Hey, Ed, where are you, said Naruto. I hope you're not doing anything perverted. As he wished he could get the image of Ed cleaning himself out of his mind. As he was basically like a little dog, cleaning himself with his tongue. I'm not doing anything, kid. As Hibachi, eyes went wide. As Hiruzen and Naruto watched as she moved over and picked up the two-tailed fox. As she started to tickle his belly. He's so cute. Oh, aren't you the most cutest thing? As Ed, back leg started to twitch. As he zoned out to her scratching his belly, he seemed to really enjoy it. As you can see, said Naruto, Ed is not the size of a tower. As Hiruzen looked around the den, It was clearer than he expected. As Naruto saw the look, he shrugged. I had a week, he said. As Sarutobi saw the titles on the books on the bookshelf. As he pulled one of them, he whistled. Some of these works were said to be lost before the First Great Shinobi War. As Naruto did not say anything as he watched the doctor act like a teenage girl with a fox in her arms, and Ed giving in to the pleasure. I'll never be able to take him seriously now. Not after seeing this, said Naruto, as Naruto showed him his bed and the new mattress that Hiruzen had bought for him, along with several items that looked new. Seeing his look, Naruto spoke up. I sort of played around fixing things after I woke up, just to make sure I understood what I was doing. Smooth lie. But Gigi can probably see it from a mile away. But it is best that they don't know that Ed can still use alchemy, now that he's out. Well, for now, said Naruto, as Hiruzen looked towards the area, as he knew that Naruto was not telling the truth, but he wouldn't call the blonde out on it. After all, even Naruto deserved his privacy. I see that you were able to get a fridge, stove, and microwave. Usable down here, said Hiruzen. Yeah, said Naruto. Once you had the envoys deliver the packages, I was able to unseal them and fix them up using alchemy. Hibachi opened the fridge. She growled as she checked the cabinets. What have I told you, she said, as she looked around. It's all ramen! As Naruto scratched the back of his head. We're going shopping, she told him, as Ed chuckled. Told you, he said, as Hibachi started to pat his stomach once again, as he started to go back in that relaxed state. What's wrong with what I have, said Naruto, as he crossed his arms. It's nothing but ramen, she said. So, said Naruto, as Sarutobi had a book in his hand. He knew how much a boy loved ramen, but seriously, this was a bit too much. There was packs of ramen, nothing more and nothing else. Because, you fool, it will stunt your growth, and if you keep on eating nothing but an unbalanced diet, you'll remain that size, even in your adult years. That was a low blow, going after his height, something that he was rather sensitive about. Hiruzen watched as Hibachi was holding the fox to her chest, and even though she was smaller than Tsunade, she was well endowed. Is that fox blushing? He thought to himself, as Naruto lost it when she went after his height. I am bigger than a garden gnome, you old melon hag, he said. Alright, that's enough, Hiruzen said, trying to stop the argument from exploding outwards. Naruto, you will help me judge the Chunin and Jonin to see who you can work with on Monday. What? Why? Said Naruto, as Ed pulled himself out of the bosom. So we don't get stuck with one of those idiots that think you're a dope. As Naruto sulked, I was gonna head out for a few days. Not alone. I don't care if they sit there and say absolutely nothing. You need a partner out there. Someone that will know about your skills. And also about your fuzzy little partner here. Partner? Said Ed as Hibachi finally released him as she was writing a list of things that Naruto would need. Yeah, about that, said Naruto. Naruto, and by extension yourself, are Konoha alchemist, Hiruzen said. Konoha alchemist? Said the fox as he walked towards Naruto. Yeah, said Naruto. It's like, state alchemists. We only answer the Hokage and it's just me and you, said Naruto. As Naruto took a step back for each one that Ed took closer to him. And it's not like we're gonna be hunting for a Philosopher's Stone. We will be spending time training until Jiji decides that we're ready, said Naruto. Isn't that right, old man, said Naruto. Huh? You say something, Naruto, Hiruzen said, as he was reading one of the books. As he zoned out, not knowing that he just used one of Kakashi's excuses. As Ed leaped, as Naruto screamed, for the love of God, not the face. No, not there. I want children someday, Naruto shouted. Time skip, as Naruto was following behind Hibachi, as they were making their way down the market street of Konoha. As the Hokage had returned back to his office, Ed was in a cage with a muzzle on his mouth, as Naruto cuts and scrapes at heel rather quickly, but he had to lock Ed away, who kept on biting and tearing him a new one. Jeez, you figure a guy that lived for a millennia wouldn't be so sensitive or picky, said Naruto. As he carried the bags of groceries, Hibachi had a hand cart, which was filled with food and dishes. She ignored his mumbling as she picked out fresh fruits and vegetables. You will eat the meals I marked down, or I will be cooking and force-feeding you, she said when she saw him scowling at the broccoli. Whatever, said Naruto, as he saw her pull a gallon of milk. I don't want milk, he said. What? Said Naruto as he paused. He liked milk. Where did that? Ed, said Naruto, as he really needed to separate these thoughts. Because he liked milk. You will take the milk and drink it, Hibachi said, As Naruto nodded, as he remembered, as he rubbed his butt when she had stuck him with those shots. Those number of needles were a lot. She might decide to shot him again, so he had to be nice to her. They were finally done as they were making their way. We will go again next Saturday, or sooner, once we figure out your metabolical rate of consumption. She heard him quiet, which was unusual for him. Ebachi-bachan, said Naruto. Yes, Naruto, she said. Do you think I would ever be accepted in Konoha? Or I'm just deluding myself? As they were not in Konoha in the shopping district, they were in a small town near the village. So, it would be hard for her to buy anything for Naruto. And they were now heading back to the village. As it brought up painful thoughts in his head, as he had to make his way outside the village to get proper service. She winked at the tone that he used, as she decided not to lie or mess around with the topic. I'm not sure, Naruto. People change their opinion all the time. But know this, no matter what, you will have me and Sarutobi, and there are others around that respect you and know you as Naruto. As that brought back some confidence to his smile. As he nodded, so your arm, she said. It functioned like a normal arm. She asked him after a couple minutes of long silence, which she didn't like that much. Oh yeah, I even have sensations of touch with it. But at the same time it's unbreakable. I can't explain, but my mind doesn't feel wrong about it. Hibachi reached out as Naruto turned as he felt the touch. Fascinating. It's a shame that it's a lost art. Ninjas, some of them had to quit or give up on their career because they lost an arm or leg. As Naruto nodded from Ed's time, as a human, automail was very common. They had automail mechanics all over the world, but he would only trust Grandma Rock Bell or her granddaughter, who Ed had a huge crush on. But he was too much of a coward, so he didn't say anything. As a smile left his face, when he and his brother were stuck on the side of the gate, he fell in love for a time. She died though, and Ed never recovered from that. As Naruto did not want to touch those memories, he had managed to seal those away from his own memories, as they were not his to touch. Hibachi was shocked the more she learned about the Kyuubi's past, as many people describe the beast as a soulless, heartless demon, but it was not. He's an old soul that has seen and lost too much. The massive gates of Konoha came into view. Oi, brat, where are you going? She said as she noticed him turning off. Secret entrance, come on. It will save hassle. Hassle? She said. Yeah, those strange envoys with a strange mask. I'd rather avoid them. There was a few of them in the crowd and I lost my arm, said Naruto. She followed into a rock formation as she watched, as he slapped his hand together. As the ground creaked as the rock moved aside to show an underground passage. What? She said, as Naruto chuckled. Ed's got tunnels running all over Konoha. Come on, said Naruto as he took the carton, as he started to make his way down. As it was resealed a moment later, the strange envoys were roots. They did not find the demon brat like how Danzo wanted them to, as Danzo wanted to know why Naruto was leaving the village. Time skip. The weekend passed with Naruto getting drive into study, as Ed taught him the basics and taught him everything that he should learn. A finger snap sent Ed running away as flames emerged when he snapped his finger. As Naruto was getting better and better, between his alchemy studies, Naruto created several clones to work on his ninja skills. Ed would toss out corrections and comments on his fighting styles. After all, he's been around for a very, very long time. As Naruto wasn't ready for any of the higher ranked ninjutsus or genjutsus, but truthfully, he could mimic most of them with alchemy now. As Naruto's Sunday was spent having breakfast with Hibachi and Harrison at the Hokage's clan house, where he met baby Konohamaru for the first time. Sadly, Ed didn't like the kid, seeing that Konohamaru latched onto his tails and pulled hard. As Naruto met up with Asuma, who had returned from his duties from the daimyo's court as one of his guards. So, Pop says that you're gonna help judge in a tournament tomorrow, said Asuma as him and Naruto was watching. Konohamaru crawled after Ed. Asuma had been unnerved at the fox's first sight. When he focused on who exactly was here was Naruto, and the fox with him, and not to mention the fox could talk. It had took at least 30 minutes to calm him down. Yeah, said Naruto, as the fox leaped away. As Konohamaru laughed as he got to his feet, the 2-year-old child chased after the fox. You know what it's about, said Asuma. Yep, said Naruto. Asuma chuckled as he lit a cigarette. His mother had forbidden smoking in the house, so even after she had passed, his father had enforced it even though he smoked. He went outside on the porch to do so, as he expected guests and his own children to follow his example. It has something to do with your new arms, said Asuma, as he was at Jonin headquarters when he heard the Jonins coming in talking about the demon brat not having use of one of his arms. Asuma was pissed off, as he knew the kid, and the kid was no demon, and them treating him like that, and not to mention those couple were a part of the group. Even though they were not the one that caused the accident to Naruto's arm, they were part of the group. Asuma had made sure that they got together with Ibiki, which was never really a good thing. Yeah, said Naruto, as Naruto was answering vaguely because he wasn't sure what to say to the man. Asuma just asked him already. Sarutobi said as he joined them on the porch, as he lit his pipe, as Hibachi was there with a cup of tea. What's going on, Asuma said. Ask the old man, said Naruto, as Konohamaru grabbed Ed by the tails, as he held on to both of Ed's tails and started to pull, as Ed tried to clutch himself to the ground, but he failed. As Naruto snorted, man, if the villagers ever saw the great and powerful Kyuubi like this, I think they would pass out laughing. Hibachi laughed in her tea, as Hiruzen smiled. Pops, said Asuma. Naruto gained a bloodline recently. He's got the ability that he will be training up, and he won't be in the academy. But he's under my command. He's Konoha Alchemist Ninja. Tomorrow, we will choose a partner for him. They will have various tasks and missions. Why won't he be in the academy, Asuma asks. My bloodline work a lot better with me studying on my own, and with Ed no longer messing up my chakra. Well, said Naruto, as Naruto walked past him and walked up the house, as he stood upside down. And Gigi gave me scrolls to study, and he would test me once a month on my progress. So having me sit in boring lectures would be useless, because I can use that time to work on my bloodline, given the fact that my chakra reserves are basically limitless, said Naruto as he flipped and landed on his feet. Alchemist? What's that, said Asuma. As Naruto went through hand signs, well, a fake couple hand signs, as him and Ed had talked about using it in plain sight, with people not noticing, by using hand signs, before he slapped his hands together, the real deal, as a wooden clone of Asuma was standing in front of him. The first thought that popped into Asuma's head, Moki, no, said Hiruzen. Naruto can transform one thing to another, shape and form, as long as there is something equivalent in the exchange, said Naruto. I cannot make a paperclip into a kunai because there is not enough mass, but with enough material I could duplicate perhaps the entire village within time, said Naruto as he touched the wooden clone as it returned back to the ground, as part of the solid stone, as Asuma had to catch a cigarette as it fell. Any Jonin or Chunin can apply, he said. Ibiki was curious, and entered, said Sarutobi. You told him, said Naruto. I told him I was looking for a partner for a true project. The first year will be you training, and as the time go by, you and your partner will get to know each other and go on missions together. You didn't tell them who, said Naruto. Yes, I did. Many of them are interested to see what you can do. I have several envoys who respect you, and is asking to take part as well. Really? Said Naruto. Yes, said Sarutobi, as he placed a hand on Naruto's shoulder. It will be fine, Naruto, he said. Asuma smirked at that. I think I'll give it a shot, he said. You wouldn't be allowed to smoke with me, said Naruto. Asuma eye twitched. And you think you'll be able to make me quit when my own father Hokage can't? Naruto reached out as he snatched a cigarette from the man. This is your lungs, said Naruto as he snapped his finger. The cigarette combust. That will be your lungs if you smoke around me again. It stinks. And with my enhanced senses, I can't stand the stench. At least the old man smoked flavorable tobacco. So if I smoke something flavorable, said Asuma, I would leave you alone, said Naruto, but that leaf smell is vile, said Naruto. Hibachi and him had talked about his senses after the grocery trip. As a shout was heard as they turned their head, the group laughed. Let me go, said Ed. Yuck, Konohamaru, spit that out. You don't know where he's been, said Naruto as Konohamaru was biting his tail. Screw you, Naruto, said Ed. Screw you, said Konohamaru, as the adults snapped their gaze towards the fox, as Naruto groaned. That's not my fault. Time skip. The stadium below the Hokage's tower was used in the old days to test the upper ranks ninjas without anyone seen but the Hokage. The gathered Jonin, Chunin, and Anvus were having a grand time. It gave them a chance to spar and impress their Hokage, and to see how others they knew were developing. The Hokage had one rule of those who had the Sharingan: no copying of loyal ninjas' techniques without permission. At the appropriate time, Sarutobi, along with Hibachi and Naruto and the Fox on his shoulder, enter the Hokage's viewing booth. "Wow, there are a lot of them," said Naruto, as he was 72 ninjas down there. He was wearing a black cargo pants with a navy blue shirt under a red trench coat. "Damn Ed's memories, I can't even wear orange anymore," Naruto thought to himself. His hands were covered in white gloves with the Alchemy circle on the back. Around his waist was a belt with several kunai holsters, but the most important thing was a pocket watch. Ed had talked with the Hokage who had it made in one of the shops. On one side was a spiraling leaf symbol, on the other side was a logo of a fox. But it was what was inside that was important, inscribed by the Hokage. As Naruto had taken it back off after adding a few seals he read from a scroll, it would make it indestructible and another to keep it going, no matter what. As Sarutobi turns attention towards Naruto, "You don't have to pick the winner here, Naruto. Just the one you think you can work with." As Naruto nodded as he pulled out a flip notebook and a pen. As Sarutobi started to speak, "I just want to thank you all for coming here on such short notice. This tournament is to display your skills, so that Naruto here can determine who is best to become his partner in a new special division that will only answer to the Hokage. If you don't feel like you can work with Naruto, I ask you to leave now." A couple of the Chonins did, as Hibachi placed a hand on Naruto's shoulder. But that wasn't so surprising. "Very well. Now then, nothing is to be lethal. When I call a match, it will come to a stop." As the gathering ninjas agreed, all of you fill out your names. It will be entered into the randomizer that will pick the matches. As Naruto watched, until the first names pop up on the board: Ibiki Marino versus Hiro Chato. Several Chonins and Jonin patted Chato on the shoulder as he entered in the ring with the head of the interrogation department. As the fight started, as Naruto winks at the wicked taijutsu that the man used, it only took a moment as Ibiki was able to put the Chonin down. A pair of Chonins were next. Nothing really special, just basic ninjutsu and low-level taijutsu. "I've seen tougher fights while running past the academy," Naruto thought, as he took notes. Hibachi, on the other hand, wasn't so quiet about it, as she yawned. As she moved over to Naruto, who simply laughed at her attitude. "What are you doing?" she asked. "The kid is learning. He's adding to his style," said Ed. "How so?" asked Hibachi. "Photographic memory," said Naruto. As both Ed and Naruto winks as a spinning kick knocked into the other Chunin face, knocking him out. As they watched several more fights, as Hibachi teased Naruto when he blushed as he saw Uncle Mitarashi attire, as she took down a Chunin known as Mizuki, with a mixture of taijutsu and the Hebai snake technique. "So, your girlfriend seemed to be near top of the list," said Hibachi, as she teased Naruto. "She's not my girlfriend, Bachan," said Naruto, "but she has great potential to be my partner." As Naruto watched two Anvus fighting, one of them wearing a dog mask. As Hiruzen saw Naruto frown, "What's wrong?" he asked. "I don't think the Anvus will make my list," said Naruto. "May I ask why?" Hiruzen said. "I've seen the one in the dog mask watching while the mobs form, and he did nothing. The sparrow one. I think he incited the mob 2 months ago. And the ones with the strange masks, they always do some things, they incite certain things. To me, the villagers just hate me even more," said Naruto. After hearing what Naruto said, a thought popped into Hiruzen's mind. "Did you say strange masks, Naruto?" he asked. "Yeah. It's not many of them, but they're different from the normal ones," said Naruto. Hiruzen's fist clenched, unknown to Naruto. A thought popped to his head. Roots. Naruto watches the dog mask Anvu hit the man, and lightning coursed off his hand as the man dropped unconscious. Next there was a woman with 3 dogs. As Naruto made notes on his pad as he watched Hana and Izaka work with their dogs. The 3 dogs incapacitated the man, one grabbed an arm, the other one another arm, and the other one reached towards the man's crotch. So if he ever moved, well, he would be in some pain right now. "Give, or they will use you like a squeeze toy," the feral woman said, as the opponent gave up instantly. As Naruto made this note, Hana Inazaka, Uncle Midarashi, and Ibiki Marino are the best ones I think he can work with so far. Over the next hour, he marked down several other possibilities. Kurna Yuai, a Chunin, Anvu, Captain Itachi Uchiha, and Gecko Hayate, a retired Jonin Shikaku Naru who came to escape another clan meeting that he called troublesome. Well, Naruto Hiruzen said as it finished up with Izumo and Katetsu. To Naruto they were a bit too playful at this serious thing, but he liked them outside of it though. I have 8 pick, but I would like to see more before I make a decision. As he handed Hiruzen the list. An interesting pick of styles and abilities. Hiruzen stands, he looked towards the competitors, some of them having on a few bandage. I want to thank you all for coming once again. If I say your name, please remain behind. The rest of you are asked to leave because the finals will be private. Many muttering could be heard from those who lost in the matches, as they seemed to not agree with this. Silence, Hiruzen said. Now as I was saying, Ibiki Marino. As the man stepped to the side, Kurna Yuai. She looked amazed at being selected, but she took her place next to Ibiki. Hana Inazaka. Yes, take that you bastard, she said, as she moved towards the others with her 3 dogs. Shikaku Nara. As people muttered in surprise, as one of the legendary Inashikacho members stepped up. Ain't he retired? Many people asked. Itachi Uchiha. As the unmasked captain stepped up, 13-year-old Itachi actually smirked as he took his place. Anko Midarashi. As Anko had a smirk as well. Gecko Hayate. The Chunin made his way coughing ever so often. I wonder if that's a real cough, or is it something to bring someone in? As he remembered how he drew his opponent in the coughing fit, and he had the man on his back within seconds. The Hokage looked towards the last name before he turned back to Naruto. Are you sure? Many in the room were surprised as they looked towards Hokage. Yep, said Naruto. Okay then. Dr. Hibashi, Dibuku. What? Hibashi said. You hit really hard, Hibashi-chan, said Naruto, as he leaped out of the box. I no longer feel doctor, you snot, she said. Those that were not selected, I thank you for being here. I know that you have brought pride to Konoha. As Hibachi came down and slapped Naruto across the head as the others left. I'm not fighting. Of course not. As Naruto slammed his hands together, as a suit of armor rose from the earth. He is, said Naruto. Naruto smiled towards the others, looked towards the suit of armor. This will be Ebachi-bachan, stand in, said Naruto. It took me all the near weekend with the use of clones to get this right, said Naruto. If you can make shadow clones, so you want to learn this, here's an axe. Curious about it. Oh, trust me, said Naruto, this is a lot more durable in combat, and it can last. We get in a few or more hits. Besides, I wouldn't let Hibachi-bachan come to any harm. She'll probably stick me with a dozen needles once again. Oh, brat, she said. Vampire, said Naruto. Circle beside children, he said. The both of them stick their tongue out at him. As he shook his head, now, since this is Naruto call, I will let him explain the next step. Slacker, Hokage, said Naruto. What was that, said Hiruzen. Oh, nothing, said Naruto, as he stepped forward. Alright. I am sure that you all can beat the snot out of me. After all, you got no problems on beating on other ninjas. As he clasped his hands behind his back and paced in front of them, as it reminded Sarutobi of himself as he watched the blonde. However, the steel golem is up against a task, and I want each of you to fight against it. From there I will pick the final 2, who will of course go at it. Well then, said Naruto as he patted the golem. Let's see how you handle Big Al here. The thing raised his hand. Hello. The fox was surprised. How the hell? As all of the competitors focused on the fox. Way to go, Ed, said Naruto. Hey everyone, meet Ed, said Naruto. As the fox hopped off Naruto's shoulder, Hana was the first one to speak. A talking fox? Is it because of... No, Ed here is like a companion that you Inuzukas have with your dogs. He's Naruto's companion. As Hibachi ruined it by picking up Ed. Isn't he just the cutest thing, she said. Moving on, said Naruto, Al here will test your abilities. You can go all out and... As the suit of armor shrieked back. What do you mean all out, he said. Despite his eye sockets being rather empty, he looked rather fearful. What the hell, said Naruto. But Ed's memories show that Al could do that too. When he was bonded to the armor, Al, Ed's brother, had created more armors when he was on Earth, before he died. But Naruto's were a bit different. Well, as he looked towards Ed, who was still enjoying the belly rub, they will get to fight you until, they destroy you. What? But why would you do that to me, the armor asks. I'll just get in there and fight, said Naruto. The armor froze. Meaning, he said. As Naruto wondered if this was because of him seeing the gates. That is why the armor was behaving like this. Ibiki, you want first crack, said Naruto. Sure, said Ibiki. Brother, the armor said. Kick his ass, Al, said Ed. Before he melted as Hibachi got a spot in his belly that he could not reach. Alright, Hiruzen said. Fight! As the two went at it. Naruto, Hiruzen said. What's up, JJ? Is the armor alive? Well, sort of. It got a piece of my soul shard. A piece of my soul power in it. I think it pulled on some of Alphon memories that I got from Ed to craft its personality. Ibiki used a battering ram out of earth as he lifted the armor before delivering a brutal kick as it slammed into the wall. I'm not sure really, said Naruto, or neither is Ed. It's gonna take me some time to figure them all out, said Naruto. The armor got up only for it to be wrapped up in wire. Welcome to the Shredder Gate, said Ibiki, as the armor was sliced to pieces by the wire. As the armor fell apart, Uncle blinked as she looked inside of it. It's hollow? How? Win and find out, said Naruto, as Ibiki was declared the winner. As Naruto slapped his arms together and touched the armor, as it returned back to normal. How are you doing, Al, said Naruto. Okay, but that man was mean, brother. As the armor sounded very childish. It was a real childish voice. Uncle blinked in confusion. It sounded like there was a kid inside. It's a soul shard, learned from Alchemy, said Naruto. Uncle blinked in confusion. Naruto said Hiruzen. Oh, right. Next up, Itachi Uchiha. Despite being so young, the Anzu captain was rather talented and skilled. As he looked towards the armor, his eyes changed. What's that, JJ? Said Naruto. It's Sakeki Genkai, the Uchiha family, Sharingan. Itachi avoided everything Al tried against him. It allowed Uchiha to copy all their skills. Naruto watches the armor slapped his hands together. No, stop! As he stopped, as Naruto rushed over. Brother, you can do alchemy? Said Naruto. Yeah, you know that, Al said. What the hell? JJ, excuse us, said Naruto as he pulled away the armor. Okay, what's going on here? Said Naruto. What do you mean, the armor asks? Al, you're a soul armor. You shouldn't be able to do this, said Naruto. You are a steel golem I created. I don't even understand why you're sentient, to the point that you can use alchemy. The armor was silent for a few seconds. It's a gift from the gate. When you summon me, it won't be your soul shard that powered the armor but mine. Alphon, Elric. Naruto froze. Why, he said. I wanted to see my brother again, even if it's through you. You are so much like Ed, when we were children. Naruto was flabbergasted by this. So you're gonna power every soul armor I create? And why didn't you say anything the other day? I will be divided in as much as you summon. And as for why I didn't say anything the other day, I was regaining my memories after being dead for so long. As the eyes start to glow red. Brother never knew when to quit, as he glanced out towards the fox. As Naruto wasn't sure what to say. How long can you last in this state? Before you disappear, before I can summon you back again. As long as you can keep on repairing me, and I will come back whenever you summon the soul armor. I'm so sorry, Al, said Naruto. I didn't know. I fell into this knowledge backwards and I trying to catch up with it all. I never knew that As Al placed a hand on his shoulder, I will help, just as Ed. Your family now, brother, he said. As Naruto smiled before the armor, grabbed him by the shirt and lifted him up. I know you know. What? Said Naruto. My feelings for winery. Never tell Ed. Yeah, said Naruto as he scratched the back of his head. Okay now, said Naruto. Be careful what you show Itachi. Jiji was just telling me about the Uchiha's bloodline. He can copy what we do. So I'm stuck with just taijutsu, said Al. Yeah, sorry about that. I promise I'll patch you up, said Naruto. You better, said Al. What was that? Hiruzen asked when he returned. I didn't want him to waste energy on attacks, so he's gonna stick with taijutsu. I really hate lying to the old man, But I'm not sure if I can tell him the truth about this, said Naruto to himself. As Naruto turned to see Ed still on Kenpachi's lap. As he seemed to be getting ready to sleep, the petting was so comfortable. As Naruto watched Itachi fight. JJ, I don't think Ibiki-san or Itachi would be good with me. They just seem so stiff. As both men turned at the voice, as Hana was there, as she was looking at the pet fox. Sorry, she said. Ibiki is great at interrogation, but field work? As she shook her head. As Harrison nodded. You're right, Naruto, I don't think either of them would work well with you. Itachi won after a bit, and Shikaku Nara fought to a draw, as the man was doing things quite strategically. Even though he didn't win, he showed that he was able to subdue the armor. Hayate interested Naruto, but the man looked rather sickly, and Naruto thought that would be a problem down the road. And not to mention he coughs a lot. Ango surprised him with her attacks as she pinned Al to the wall with her sneaks before she carved into the armor. As she created a large cobra that slam right in the armor's crotch. As all of the men there kind of winks. Imagine if that was real. It's a really good thing that Al can't feel anything. Hana went inside the arena. She asked how the armor was doing. Al, being a nice soul, told her that he was fine. The moment Hiruzen started the match, she attacked him quite viciously, kicking and swiping like a tiger when it slashed at its opponents. As she summoned her dogs as they transformed into her quadruple piercing fang. As Al was hit viciously. Whoa, said Naruto. Winner, Hana Inuzaka. As she impressed Naruto a lot. But guys, be in subs right here. If you want to see next parts and do, like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification as they posted. Remember to share to all of your friends in your social media platform. And also stay tuned for the rest of what is coming your way over Anime King 2 and Anime King 3. If you're new, yes, you heard that perfectly clear. You're not mistaken. It might sound crazy, but yes, I indeed have 3 channels. Anime King 2, and Anime King 3. Which I post what you fun every single day for you guys to sit back, relax, and enjoy. So yeah, place your feet up, grab your popcorn, grab your drink, and sit back and relax. And I hope you guys enjoy each and every one of them. But I'm off now. See you guys soon. Peace.